Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Gardunklefunkle here to welcome you back to another GTA 5 online video. Today's going to be a little different, not like my past videos where I've just messed around with my friends. No, today's going to be about how I make money. Now, I get a few requests from other friends or just from getting DM'd by some of my subscribers. It's really not that hard, and I'm just going to teach you how I make money. Now, I don't have a lot of money right now, especially when I just have an oppressor, waiting for some discounts. So, everyone says, if you're going to buy money, just buy a shark card. You need quick money. And that's obviously not everyone wants to buy a shark card. Well, today, I'm going to be showing you my fast guide to earning money. So, number one, what I do is, of course, you have to have a CEO. Maybe, you know, that's what they always say, spend your first million on a CEO office. And I did take that advice. So at first, you're gonna have a CEO office, and you're gonna get crates. Crates is a very fast way of earning money if you're a lower level. Okay, at first it's heist, and then you move up to crates. I did crates for a while myself, up until not too long ago, actually, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. That's when I finally used that crate money to buy a vehicle warehouse. And that is still today how I get my money from. And how I might do that, you ask? Well, vehicle warehouses, it's a pretty simple sort of deal. All it is, okay, is you source a car. It can be standard, mid, or top range. Doesn't really matter. It can be either three, and it could be, you know, it could be one of those. Only 3 of them. Now, the thing about these 3 cars is you're going to want a top range. And top range cars, they sell for a lot more. So, with top range cars, you're paying around $20,000. But here's the catch. If you pay $20,000 and you sell a top range car, they give you $100,000. So, you're making $80,000 profit right there. And the cooldown time for this is only 20 minutes. And so, you know, you might just say, oh, only 80,000, 20 minutes, that's not good. You're right, it's not good. That's below good. So what I recommend is you get a few cars. You can only sell, it really depends how much people are inside your CEO. You know, 1 person, 1 car, 2 people, 2 cars, so on and so forth. Only goes up to 4 though. So basically, what you would do, if you have some friends, invite some of them, try to get top range, and I'll explain how to only get top range and here in a little bit. So get a top range car, and then what you're going to want to do then is get 2 more, or 3 more, or just 1 more. You can sell 2. And so you get some people. If you don't have friends, just invite some randoms, maybe people that, you know, notice are doing good inside your session. It doesn't really matter who it is, as long as, you know, they're not going to destroy it. And then you deliver the cars, easy money. Here's the catch though. So basically, when you do source a car, it's completely free. You source a car completely free, no cost. However, the damage that car takes before you get to the warehouse is how much you have to pay once you get to the actual warehouse itself. So it's pretty much free until, you know, you get shot up, which happens a lot, but don't worry, it's not that much. Normally just ranges from 1 to 5,000, little payments. That's fine. Now, when you sell a top range car, you don't always sell it for 20,000 though. You can sell it as stock. Normally, if you sell it stock as you got it, it's $40,000. And I believe if you sell it for I believe $15,000 or $10,000, you get around 60,000, maybe 70,000. But I recommend selling for 100,000 because that's only going to run you $20,000. Now, it may be a little difficult at first, and let me just tell you why. So at first, you're thinking, okay, this is a pretty good method, you know, and it truly is. I made around 3 million in 1 day. Decided to buy the oppressor, good purchase. But so basically, what I had to do was source a lot of cars. And my way of getting top range every single time, and this, I know a few other people that also do this, is to basically source a lot of cars. And here's what I mean by that. So you start sourcing, you might get standard range and mid-range. Do not sell those. Do not sell those cars. What you're going to want to do is keep those cars inside your warehouse. Eventually, you'll get the max number of them. You'll get the max number of those cars to the point where you can't have duplicates of the same car. And there has to be able to fit top range inside your warehouse. So after you get every single standard range car and every single mid-range car, so basically if you get a top range car while trying to fill up your warehouse with standard and mid-range, just sell it, easy money. Eventually, once you fill it up with standard and mid-range, you will always get top range, no matter what. I can also demonstrate that. So that's another way. That's the main way to earn cash. No shark cards needed. I mean, you want to pay 20 bucks for like 1.3 million? Go for it. I don't think that's worth it. 20 real life dollars for something that's super easy to grind. You know, just not my cup of tea, I guess. Anyway, the reason I am making this video is because a lot of people, I've seen it all the time. Oh, new vigilante. Let's just buy one of their shark cards. Right now they're trying to lure us in with the double money on the shark cards, and I think that's pretty cheap of them to do, considering that now they're just like, oh man, they're getting pretty desperate. They're about to release Christmas discounts, and you know, they just drop some of this stuff on you. They're just trying to get you to buy their stuff, which is expected. Trying to make a profit, which is fine. I'm not saying that's bad for a game. That's actually quite good. However, the thing is, though, with this method, it's pretty much simple. And you don't always have to only source a car. See, look, this is about to be a top range. Yep, Roosevelt Vela, top range. So basically, what you would do, once you source a car, or sell a car, I recommend doing Sightseer. Sightseer is a VIP mission, and you can do it in a solo session. Doesn't really matter. You can do that. Not too hard. You can't do an invite only because you have to register as a CEO. So what this is going to do is you have to collect packages around the map, and if you do it within 15 minutes, you get 20 or like 19 to 25,000. Depends how long it takes you. So basically, what I'm talking about here is when you do Sightseer, it's going to give you around that much money, around 24,000, but that's going to cancel out your profit debt. So you're not going to be losing any money. I mean, technically you will be. So when you source a car, you're going to be paying the 20,000 that you got extra from this selling a car. So you know you have to pay 20,000. Well, this is going to cancel that out and make it nice and right for you. And so basically what that means, so you're going to be selling at 100,000, selling at 100,000, paying 20 grand, but because you did that VIP work, it kind of cancels it out. That's another way of earning money, and I've used this method for a lot of things. I basically have a bunker, I have a hangar now. Those came out pretty much recently. Pretty much so with just this method, and you have to start small. At first I just went for the small fish, like I said, crates. It's a way to go after heist, a lot faster than heists. Okay, so another way of earning money, not my preferred method, is either A, the bunker, or B, the hangar. And these two, oh, they're a handful. And the reason I don't recommend making money with the bunker, it's a good source of income. It truly is, but it takes time and a lot of work. So it really depends where you buy your bunkers. Some are in Paleto Bay or in Sandy Shores. And it really depends where you have some of your stuff. Like, I have my CEO, I have the cheapest one. I mean, they all do the same thing. Hangar, I got the cheapest one, same thing. Bunker, like, I don't get why you have to spend more money. Bad thing about the bunker is that it's in Paleto Bay. I don't really go up there often, but when I do, it's normally just to start researching things. So it's kind of good to also have a hangar in the military base. I don't, but you know, it's unfortunate. Things happen. So with the hangar, it's completely free. You don't have to pay any money at all, ever. After you pay the 1.2 million, I believe it is, or like the cheapest bunker, you can start on crates, and it doesn't cost you any money at all. Like, each crate that you steal or deliver to your warehouse is $10,000 free if you sell it. So if you get, if you get 100 crates, which you can't, but theoretically if you get 100 crates, that's just 10 times 10 there, buddy. Like, that's a lot of cash that you're going to be reeling in. Let's take a more reasonable number, such as, let me think. Maybe 30 crates. With 30 crates, that's pretty good. That's a lot there. That'd be pretty risky to, attend that. You're gonna need a few people. 30 crates, $10,000 each crate. You do the math, a lot of money, around $300,000, because you have to pay a small cut to Ron, who helps you run that business. It doesn't really help you. It's basically you on your own. But as you can see here, all of these are standard and mid-range. And because these are here, they are taking up the slots. So which means the only things that are left I can get are these top ranges, because you can only have, pretty sure, 40 cars. Okay, look, mid-range. So I have 10. Standard range, I should also have 10. Yep. And so you can only hold 30 cars, or maybe 40 cars, I don't know. And top range, that's all you're going to get, because you have max for both of them. So it's pretty simple, this line of business. And so basically what you can do here is if you sell for most, like I just showed you there, it's quite easy to. Very efficient. However, I do not recommend it doing in a solo session like I am right now, because they will send AI after you that have really good aim. Like, I'm talking about super good aim, and you do not want to face them like I'm about to. Here, I'll show you. It's pretty much ridiculous. However, you fight through it, it's pretty much okay. Now, back to the hangar. So, hangar is also good for storing personal airplanes, and I say this because I love airplanes myself. You do, however, if you want airplanes, you're going to want to buy the airplane workshop. I mean, that's kind of basic. You're going to buy some airplanes, need to modify them. That's going to run you like an extra $1 million. And though that may suck, just saying, like, it sucks, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Here's a demonstration, maybe. Oh, here they are. They'll hit you directly, these AI. They just don't care about the speed of your car. I know this isn't the fastest car in the world, but take the Osiris or the X80, for example. They'll just catch up with you. And they've killed me a few times while selling, but I've never failed a sell, ever. And I think I've sold over 300 cars, or around that number. So I've made a lot of money. I can go back to my CEO office and show you almost $25 million total with this. Now to the bunker. Okay, so the bunker, it's a handful. And this really depends on your location. The worst part about the bunker is if you have it in Paleto Bay, like me. I'm an unfortunate soul who just couldn't wait. However, bunker is pretty good. The only bad part about using it to make money is the supplies. Oh, well, they take forever. Supplies are very hard to get because half the time it's just a van, and a van that drives very slowly, and most of the time it's in Los Santos. So if you have something in Paleto Bay, and you're stealing from Los Santos, you can obviously see in a session filled with people, that's not going to go well for you. So that's another downside. But if you don't, because not everyone has that. Some people have the most expensive bunker, or like a really expensive bunker, just not quite the most expensive. It's still quite the handful, because you still have to worry about people blowing you up, blah blah blah. Still sucks, which is fine. I mean, the only thing that's not fine about it is how much supplies it fills up. Like, you'll be, look at that, a van like that, you have to drive from LS all the way to Paleto Bay without getting blown. And I mean, it does sell for a lot. You do have to wait a long time, but eventually you will get a lot of profit out of it. I don't think the wait is worth it, because I have other ways of earning money. But I mean, personally, I don't really care about that bunker business. You can use the bunker for researching, like I have the oppressor missiles, or the back turrets on the MOC, which, like I said, MOC, that's like an armored semi. I'm pretty sure people know what the MOC is. And that can be stored in the bunker. You can't buy that unless you have a bunker. And the reason why I prefer the MOC is because you can also modify your vehicles. Like, you can't modify the Oppressor if you don't have an MOC. However, this is another thing. Get this. So you buy the MOC for $1 million. You think that's good, right? You have to buy the command center for $300,000 so you can actually operate the turrets that are on your thing. Oh, this is juicy. Then you also have to buy another $1 million. You have to put another $1 million into this to buy the vehicle and weapons bay. Some of you don't even own, you know, like me. I was a young soul. I'm just like, hey, never gonna get a vehicle with weapons that I need to modify. You know, just a month later, boom. Oh, what are you gonna do these days? And one of my comment at all. So some people do like the wave method, and it does earn in ranking some cash, but it's kind of hard nowadays with all these tryhards in GTA and modded accounts. Don't care if they blow you up. Really does suck. It's truly a shame. But I mean, the wave method is basically a cooldown timer that runs out everything. So here's how it works. Well, here's an example of a wave method. Okay, you source a car, you source the top range, and then you go sell it. While you're waiting for the 20-minute cooldown to go away, you do a sightseer, and that's gonna make you wait 10 minutes so you can do a sightseer again, but also 5 minutes before you do another VIP work mission again, if that makes any sense. So now you'll be sitting there, but then, okay, then it's not over. You'll start up what is it called? Headhunter. Yeah, you'll start up Headhunter. By the time you finish that, the wait time for Sightseer will be out. So you go source another car, do Sightseer, and then sell another car, and then do Headhunter. And then right after Headhunter, back to Sightseer, source, and then Headhunter, and then sell a car. That's a very grueling process. That's just one wave method, but that does rank in around $420,000 an hour, which is pretty great. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I did this method a few times. It is very annoying. However, it's not that big of a deal to me at this point. And that's one of my last methods, but another method, this is an extra method, it's only to earn quick cash, you know what I'm saying? Not like overly expensive, oh, you're gonna earn millions out of this. This is kind of a, hey, I just need to modify my car, can you help me out? And so, you know, let's say you bought a car, you're broke. Like kind of me when I bought the Oppressor, except I wasn't broke. I made myself broke from bad decisions. So what you're gonna do is just VIP missions or heists. If you get invited to a heist finale, just take it, I guess. I mean, what else are you going to do if you need cash? It's a very kind of last resort sort of thing, but I mean, it works. So if it works for you, it's worked for me before when I was really low on cash and I needed something where I was going to, you know, lose a lot of money. So heist finales, let's talk about that. So there's a lot of heists, as you know, Grand Theft Auto. Now you can't just accept every heist invite that you get, you know, some heists just aren't worth it. You know, some people invite you to Fleeca, first heist in the game, awful cash payout, you know. 2 setups, 2 people, like 0 cash altogether. So my recommendation for this is just accept, let's say, the setup before the heist finale of like Pacific Standard or Prison Break. And just my personal preference, I only take Pacific Standard. Like sometimes you just actually get offered to a finale, because it really depends on your rank actually. So if you're a low rank, this probably is not going to work out for you. You're not gonna get invited to a lot of heist finales, and ooh, shocker, because not a lot of level 30s or 40s or 50s are doing Pacific Standard. And another thing on that topic, so the apartment, high-end apartment, the cheapest one is, I believe, $200,000. And the reason why this is important is because they have a heist room, which you can start doing your own heist. And so, with this, there's a challenge that comes with it. So the challenge is, do every single heist on hard with the same team of 4 people without dying 1 time, ever. Which is crazy, you know? And you might not realize how hard that is. That's extremely difficult. You can never die, ever. That's just not on your options. If you die, you start over back on the first heist, which may suck, but I mean, the payout for this is just unbelievable. You all know the Megalodon shark card, $100 in real life cash for only $8 million. Well, if you complete this challenge, which I have never done because I've never attempted because of how crazy it is, the game, after the profits you have made from the heist, so you still keep your money from the heist, it just gives you $10 million. It's like Criminal Mastermind Challenge. Good job. Like, that might not seem like much to some non-GTA 5 players or maybe low levels. Like, that's unbelievable. Okay, I don't know anyone who's ever completed that, just ever, and just basically lived to tell the tale or ever want to play a heist again. It's just beyond me. And very difficult because you have to find a team that's active too. So that's another thing, heist. And I recommend the way I made one of my millions with, ooh boy, one of my buddies named Snow Shadow. Okay, we did a nice little grind one night, and I do not recommend this for any sad person trying to do this. This method, we just repeated the Fleeca heist, or I know it's called Fleeca, I just call it Fleeca, over and over again, giving one person 80% or 70% and just switching back and forth. That is one of the worst things I have ever done in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. And I've done a lot of crazy things, okay? I've done a lot of embarrassing, like, did I really just do that? So, it's pretty bad, but Fleeca, okay, it's not worth it, okay? Just move on. Just get yourself a heist team. Now, I haven't done a heist in, well, I just did one recently just to see what it was like again. But other than the recent, it's been such a long time that I've just, like, oh, this is our heist team. Let's do it, you know? You know, it just takes way too long, in my opinion, for these setups. Because Pacific Standard, you pay $100,000. And all the setups, you don't get any setup money. Which is really bad because the profit payout, if you split it evenly with everyone gets around $300,000 to $400,000. Which is like, yeah, $300,000 to $400,000. But considering they all got the 20,000 from each setup, so they're getting around like almost 500,000. And you don't get any setup money. I don't know what the heck that was. Also, you had to pay 100,000. So you are down right now like at 200,000. You still get 300,000, but you still lose some money there. That's why if I do a heist, I prefer not to start one. It's not in my cards. I'm not willing to do that. But however, some people that are willing to do it, I will definitely do it with them. Normally, I'm very generous, give everyone an even cut. Sometimes I give myself a little extra. It's kind of expected considering, you know, kind of just started the heist, no setup money. I'll give myself maybe 5% extra, at most 10. But that's not too bad. It's not too much. Anyway, so after a while, heists start to get boring. It's, you know, it starts to really get to you of just the pain. At first, it's fun, just like crates. At first, once you start crates, super fun. You know, you're like, oh, I'm earning money. This is good. But it gets old. Trust me when I say it gets old, okay? Like, you will not just think it's fun after a while. You'll get missions that you want to think are impossible. Sometimes you just literally have to go out into the middle of the ocean, kill a bunch of jet skis in a boat. Now, you are on a jet ski, okay? Like, there's nothing you can do in this situation. But you still have to blow up this boat, collect the crate, and then outrun a buzzard on a jet ski. Let me remind you, you're doing this for one crate. Like, that's ridiculous. It should never be that hard, ever. I just think that's one of the bad things about crates. It did help me, however, get a vehicle warehouse. Now, many people make money in various different ways. I shared a few in this video, but some just, like I said, buy shark cards, and that's no big deal. Okay, oh yes, not to mention, these AI that, you know, you're on boats, you have to go out in a jet ski, you know, pretty much okay, they have God aim. Like, think of Jesus Christ himself have a Tommy gun, alright? You being 18 miles away, he'd just kill you one shot, okay? If you gave, like, yeah, if you gave Jesus Christ a gun, he would just kill you from that far. Like, it's that bad. It's almost like the AI now. If you're trying to source cars, now, don't get me wrong, vehicle warehouse isn't all fun and games. It's very frustrating, too. Because if, let's say, you steal a car, okay? You're going to deliver to your warehouse. Someone kills you and steals it. Yeah, people who also have vehicle warehouses can see, hey, look, he's sourcing a car. It's kind of hard not to miss, you know, because you just appear as a big red car on the map. They can just kill you and then steal your car. Or even if you're selling, they can still do damage there. They can kill you, and then, you know, you already paid $20,000 for this car. They can A, blow it up, or B, they can take it to a police station and only get like $13,000. That is pretty much, other than the damage, the only other way that you can lose money in the vehicle business. Which, in my opinion, is kind of worth it. I mean, only 2 ways to lose money. What can go wrong? A lot of things. But it's not that common, you see. It's not common for someone to steal your car and then just go turn it in. I've sold around 290 cars. Never once have I had someone kill me while I was selling. My vehicle selling success rate is 100%, and I can show you that. However, sourcing is not. Sometimes I'll blow up the car on purpose. You know, maybe if it just has $14,000, that can happen. I just don't feel like paying that, because then the profit, it really does cut into your profit a lot at that point. So maybe just blow it up. Don't really feel like it. Okay, some cars to watch out for, and there's really one big one on my list, and it's on a lot of people's radar of like cars they hate to source and they hate to sell. And that, my friends, is the Mamba. The Mamba will run you for almost $1 million if you want to buy it and drive it around in GTA Online, which is quite expensive for a car that you can barely control. And if you let me explain that, I mean, it's not a bad car. I will give you that. It really depends on your driving style, of like, if you suck at drifting. That's the thing, though. This car has no traction on the road. It's literally like giving a kid ice skates in the middle of like a polar ice cap, okay? He just can't even stay. He can't even stand up. So doing a simple turn in this car will probably spin you out, especially when you have people chasing you, which is bad. Oh yeah, when you source and you have AI chase you, it's not a fast car. It is definitely not a fast car, okay? So having, you know, sourcing and then having those guys come after you, with the Mamba, I averaged $9,000 to $16,000 worth of damage. Normally, when I get the Mamba, I just blow it up at that point. I mean, I don't feel like it's really worth it, you know? I feel like at that point, it's kind of just, okay, cutting into profits now, better stop. And a lot of people, this is not just me, a lot of people hate this Mamba. Like, it's pretty bad, okay? Like, a lot of people at the vehicle warehouse say the same thing, you know? It's not on your top pick of cars that you want. Focusing a little bit here. Alright. Further into that, some cars that you like, you know, as the game tells you, the car missions are based on the difficulty. And sometimes I find this really odd. When you source a standard range, I find it most of the time it's harder than when you source a top range. And that might seem odd. Or like, okay, let's say if you sell a top range car for not 100,000, sometimes you have to go like collect a slip, and that just wastes more time. You know, people can still come and kill you even more, which I find ridiculous. Because if you're selling for 100,000, it's always point A to point B, no matter what. And kind of hate that concept of how they change it just for how much you're selling. So it's fine. Still earns you a lot of cash. You know, I still find it nice. I don't really care. I normally only sell for 20,000 ever anyway, so it's not really my problem at that point. I just recommend you also pay that $20,000 fine. Sell it for 100,000. The profit's worth it, trust me. And low levels out there, I know making money is hard. You know, believe it or not, I only got this game in May. Like, that's a little bit crazy. I hit rank 100 in less than a month. And that kind of blew my mind. So, which I do not recommend, by the way. I recommend you take the game slow, because once I was at rank 100, I didn't really have anything. I don't really have a suitable way of just earning some cash and, you know, just chilling. Now, I can just go earn cash whenever I want. It's not a challenge anymore. It used to always be a challenge. But at this point, it's easy. It's fun. Another recommendation for my viewers. Okay, so people always will grind. That's just what they do. They will grind and they hate it. Now, when you grind for something, it's grueling. Okay, you hate it. You know, you're just like, oh, I just want to get this over with. So I have a tip. I want you to try grinding, but not for just grind for nothing. Grind for just the sake of getting cash because you have nothing else to do. When you're bored, just go make some money. Because at that point, you think of it as an activity and not something that you just have to do. That's why I don't really plan on like, oh, I'm going to go buy this. I really did learn my lesson. That's how I just earned so much money in one day. I'm just going to see how much money I can get. You know, if I were grinding for something, I would have immediately bought it and then I would have been poor again. You know, lesson learned. You know, and I am a victim to one of these things. This is my third time owning the Oppressor. My third time. I've bought it and sold it 2 other times, and this is my third time owning it. And so that's a little crazy to think about. Which, you know, another thing, not everyone can afford a CEO. I get that. It's expensive. $1 million, unless you like get a nice little discount on it. Completely understandable, you know. I recommend, if you're not willing to do that, get an MC. Get an MC club and start from there, because with an MC club you can get a wheat farm or a meth lockup or counterfeit cash. Personally, I have the cocaine farm because that pays out a lot of money. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about the bunker before I end off this video, and I will be making another video after this one. Just me playing with some friends. This is kind of just an informational video, but you guys know making money is not as hard as Rockstar makes us seem. So, about the bunker, you're putting a lot of money into this thing, okay? Just like all the other things I've bought, it's pretty crazy, in my opinion. You'll get used to it, though. So, after a while, you'll just get used to it. That's fine. Because you will be wasting money at a rate that you can finally replace it. Me, I'm pretty much poor right now, as you can see. It's not a lot of cash. But that's just from me selling one car. That's fine. But, you know, from car to car ratio, pretty good money. You get used to wasting money. Let me show you guys here. I have earned like a total. Wait, hold on. Let me see this. 27,949,926. Vehicles stolen. 346 vehicles. Steal vehicles. Okay, 94%. That means when I steal vehicles, 94% of the time I get it back to the warehouse. I've sold 325 and I have 100%. I've sold every single one of those cars. 325 cars. Which is a little insane. Okay, so here's the other things. Special cargo. Now these I only do now if I get a special item. And I really do like special items, even though maybe big dog now, you know. Special items still sell for like 120,000. I mean, it's pretty much good, but the missions are kind of hard to get those ones. But I completely understand. A recommendation, if you are doing crates as a low level, don't buy 18,000 for 3 crates, because think about it here. I either A, buy 2 crates, because I can only get 2 crates, or just 1 crate at a time. I'll just buy 1 crate at a time. You know, take it slow, because obviously 2 times 3 is 6,000. That's 3 times less than this right here. It's the same thing. Half the time, actually more than 75% of the time that I've seen people, you know, steal crates, they buy 3, and they're just the only person in their CEO, and they really make a mistake there. And, you know, I'm just trying to look out for some low levels or some high levels. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see me play online with some of my friends, stay tuned. That will be coming up in like 5 or 10 minutes. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video.